Hey everybody, it's me again, Mike with E3, here again to keep you in the know. Today I have another special guest. This is Sylvia Green. The reason she's so special is not only is she an amazing person, but she has a heart of gold, but she also is the owner of a nonprofit called Blessed to Be a Blessing Ministries, which is basically a food pantry. They serve Oakley, Brentwood,
Oakley, Bay Point, Pittsburgh.
Yes, that's it. So
Antioch.
So we're going to ask some questions. I want to find out about what they do and how they do it, and we're going to let you hang out and listen and find out. So, Blessed to Be a Blessing. I've been fortunate to know about this. Give me a little backstory. How did you come up with this idea? What kind of drove you to do this?
So when I was younger, we didn't have food. So it's always been kind of on my heart because I know what it's like to not have food in the pantry. And it was on my heart probably a few years ago. And then I was like, there's no way I can do this. There's just no way. Like, I'm one person. How am I going to start a food pantry? And so I kind of put it in the back of my mind, didn't really think about it. And then during COVID, I was napping because, why not nap during COVID?
Why not? Got nothing better to do.
Yeah.
Can't go anywhere.
Exactly. But I woke up from my nap and I looked at my husband and I said, it's time. Like, I had a dream. God told me it's time. And so he was like, well, then let's do it. Like, no question. And I was like, and in my dream too, like, God told me from the beginning, like, it's blessed to be a blessing. You are blessed to bless others. So therefore, that's where the name came from, it was all in my dream. And when I started, I was like, okay, well, God told me to do it. So I'm just gonna say yes. I don't know how it's gonna go. If we help one family, that's all we're supposed to do.
Yes.
If it continues, like, I had no idea it would grow to what it has.
Oh, that's pretty good. How many deliveries do you make a day now?
We do it 1 to 2 times a month. So it's either it's always on a Saturday, and we range between 30 to 40 families every time.
Wow, every weekend.
Oh, well, every other weekend.
Oh, every other weekend. Oh,
so like 80 families a month.
Wow, I didn't know it was that bad because last time it was like 3 or 4. I'm like, who knew? So
yeah,
I actually have some cool questions here. So, we know what you do. And how many years did you say you had been? It was good to have an amazing husband, Luke.
Exactly.
I know to say yes, because a lot of people are like, "Are you crazy, woman?" But no, Luke I could hear him going, "Okay."
Yeah, he was like,
Let's do it.
Because he also knew it was on my heart too. So he was like, if God's telling you it's time, then it's time.
That's important because you always want to have somebody behind you. Because sometimes if you're
Right.
going to do it and they're tagging along, like I don't really want part of this, But
Right.
So you've been blessed to have Luke.
I've been blessed, yes.
Yeah. And I know they got a daughter, Destiny. Does she participate in this too?
Occasionally. So she works a lot of Saturdays, so she can't necessarily help too often, but she does help when she can.
Okay. I was kind of curious because I know teenage girls.
Right. No,
it's cool when they're little. They get teenage and boys in school and.
She actually enjoys when people drop food off on our porch. She likes to sort it and put it away.
Oh, that was good of her.
Yeah.
She's a sweet young lady. So
Yeah.
let me ask this. So do you have some guidelines of, because everybody's going to say, yeah, I need free food. That's got to be kind of a sore spot. What are your kind of guidelines as far as, who can receive the assistance you offer?
We don't really require much. It's just you have to be in our delivery area. Mm-hmm. And you have to have a home because we have to have somewhere to deliver it to.
Okay.
And you have to have a phone because that's how we contact you. So other than that, we don't ask for income. We don't ask any sort of those kind of requirements. It's more of if you truly need food, we are going to help you.
So you're not going to put the income and make them
Correct.
jump to the fire hoops?
Correct.
Okay.
Our only thing is, like, as we grow, sometimes people might have to be put on a waiting list until we can make sure that we can feed them.
That goes to, obviously you're going to need help. So,
Exactly.
Okay, we'll come to that one.
Exactly.
That's another one. So you really don't need, so there's no income requirement? Is it any documentation? Just
Nothing.
Need a phone number and an address to deliver to.
And you do have to sign a form saying that you'll check the food when you get it, because we do our best to check it. But if you do happen to get something that, doesn't look right or is expired, because we get a lot of food donated to us, we ask that you would, dispose of that on your own. But we do try our best to make sure that everything you're getting is
fresh and
fresh and
something
good.
that you would eat yourself.
Exactly. Well, and even sometimes, we go to the grocery store and buy a lot of food, but even I personally have gone to the grocery store and got something expired. So that's why we have them sign the form saying, if there is something, please dispose of it on your own.
As long as it's got the brand name on there.
Exactly.
And you get sick, go yell at Winco.
Exactly.
Go yell at
Exactly.
Walmart. Okay.
Yeah.
Good point. So what other options? Is there just food delivery service? Is there any other clothes or anything else you offer with this?
We only offer food at the moment because we just don't have the room.
Okay.
People have offered to like donate, and we do a annual garage sale every year for a fundraiser.
Okay.
At that time, we do accept donations of pretty much anything that we can sell, so that we then have money for food.
Oh, not to worry. We're going to put her information up at the end of this so that way with all the donation stuff, because I want you to reach into your pockets after you're done and help her out, okay? Just putting it out there. Okay. So the food is every other weekend you deliver.
Yes,
Okay.
and that's one of the, I'd say the great things about us. There's not, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, we are the only food pantry that delivers to your home.
Yeah, they do a couple local. Everybody lines up down
Exactly.
the street. So how do you say we want a box of food? Say I knew a family or a family want. How do they get in touch with you? Do they email you, call you?
A lot of times it's through Facebook,
Okay.
just because that seems to be where most people find us.
Okay.
I have had people just text me randomly, like they have somebody on the list already, and a friend has been like, reach out to her. So as long as you can get a hold of me by email, by my cell phone number, by Facebook, and then once you're asked to be added, we would send you the form, you would sign it, and then you would be put on our list or waiting list at that point.
Okay. And then when you come on the wait list, you reach out via text, email.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's pretty cool. It makes it, and you're located out of Oakley. We covered you the zones: Brentwood, Oakley,
Antioch,
Pittsburgh,
Bay Point.
Bay Point. Over the hill, not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah,
We're not. We have had quite a few requests for Concord. We just aren't. We're not there yet.
Gotcha. That's when you got to find somebody in Concord. Nobody
Exactly. Exactly.
We'll get there. Okay. Let me ask you this. Sometimes you get these lists, and you got people that want to do it, and say it comes to like say a family with small children or senior citizens who are in a really dire situation. Do you ever have to make those decisions like, hey, I need to put somebody on hold because this needs immediate attention?
Luckily, God has always provided.
Amen.
So every time I do have somebody that needs to be added, like we have had quite a few senior citizens that have been added or single parents, and every time I'm like, okay, I'm not going to put them on a wait list. Like I feel like, they need the food, and every time God has given me the resources to make it happen.
That's faith right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I mean, it's got to be hard to say. You say no to something, you know this. I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would not be. I'd be freaking out. I'd be tossing and turning. I'd be like, all right, I'm raiding my own pantry because I'm going without because they got to be fed.
Luckily, every time I say I'm going to put somebody on a wait list, I end up just adding them for that reason, because I feel like they need the food. They've reached out. I don't want to be the reason they're not getting food this week. So, and every time God has provided. So, but I do say that eventually we might need a wait list, because obviously we can't handle hundreds and hundreds of people. But for now, we've been able to handle everything we've gotten.
Sometimes you got to stretch those tent stakes, and He's going to do it. Like I said, you're blessed to be a blessing. And if I'm not mistaken, He says, when you refresh others, I too will refresh you.
Yes.
That's just not personal. That means what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
Nice. That means we were talking about how you get the wait list and stuff. So are you actively and open to help? Like, especially if you want to volunteer?
Oh, we always need volunteers. Luckily, again, since we started, I just put out Facebook posts and post on Nextdoor asking for volunteers, and 95% of our volunteers now, which is about 20, all came from them. I didn't know them before this.
Okay. Well, let's like I said, we're going to make sure we get your information out there. So if you're watching this, they do need help all the time. It's free, but hey, you know what? Serving people, that shouldn't be feel like an obligation. It should be something, if you feel in your heart, if you want to help, just to show up and deliver or even sort food.
Right.
I mean, a Saturday morning.
Right.
It's not like you're giving up days and weeks of your time.
Everybody that has volunteered, that have started brand new, they're like, they don't know what to expect at first. You're done within an hour on a Saturday. No more than an hour. Because when I give you your deliveries, I wouldn't give you more than 4. So you'd be done. Even if you're driving to Pittsburgh, you're typically done within an hour. So we're really just asking people maybe for an hour of their time on a Saturday, if they're willing to deliver for us.
If they're not working on it free, that's minimal. Yeah, even I was like, I didn't know that part of it. I thought it was going to be a couple hours.
No,
just an hour.
It's you pick up from my house. I give you maybe 4 deliveries, sometimes less. You deliver those, and then you don't have to come back to me. You can just go home from there.
And it's if I'm not mistaken, it's a box, like it's a sorted box.
Oh yeah, it's like a banana-sized box from Costco, full of food.
Nice. And just boom, here you go. Here's your address. Drop the box off. Do you have to ring the doorbell, or do you have to just drop it off at the?
We just ask people, kind of like how you would do like a DoorDash or an Instacart. You just ring the doorbell, you drop it, and you leave. You don't have to wait for the person to come to the door, because everybody that's getting food that day has already agreed that they are home during those times.
Okay, that's good to know. We were going to make sure we give you plenty of information so you can get involved. Here's probably one. I know there's probably those 1 or 2 items every week you're like, we need. if you wouldn't mind, give me a list kind of what are weekly needs, the things that are like high on the priority list that you need every week.
So, luckily with our cash donations, we do go to the grocery store the Friday before delivery.
Okay.
And we always buy cereal. We always buy fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
We always buy pasta, hot dogs, lunch meat. We try to give you the staples, and we try to make sure that you have enough to make meals, not just random stuff that you don't know what to do with. So we always try to we give you tortillas, we give you taco seasoning. Like there's certain things that you can make a meal out of with what we give you.
It's workable, so that way, because
Yes.
you're thinking you're not just like a bag of chips. No, we're
Exactly.
thinking something you can create a meal so you can serve your family, but you have leftovers for the next day.
Yes, I did have somebody that got our box for the first time, and she messaged me and she was like, "Oh my gosh, I stretched your box out for 9 days."
Wow.
I mean, yes, that obviously plans, you have to plan your meals and stuff, but that was one of our things with starting the food pantry is I really wanted to give food that you could use, not just random food that nobody else wanted.
Yeah. Get raided their pantry. This is not expired. Not expired.
Which
No, you want
I will
good
say,
stuff.
we do like most of our donations of food are people that went through their pantry. Totally acceptable because we like to also put in random stuff. Okay. So that way you do get like a mixture. You get like kind of your staples and then you get a mixture of stuff. And then luckily we've been blessed and we have Panera donates as well. So we have the day old bread to also put in the boxes.
I always know I like their coffee and their sandwiches, so that's good. So supporting Panera supports you.
Yes.
In the area. Cool. Okay, we're gonna be real here. I know there's some things that please people don't drop off. This is not nice. It's like come on, give me the don't drop these off. They're not gonna make it.
Honestly, the only thing I ask is that you don't give us expired food.
Okay.
Because so many times people will go through their pantry and I don't think that they necessarily realize it's expired, but we ask that you at least you go through it before you bring it to us because if you're giving us expired food and we catch it, we just throw it away. So you're just causing us more work, I would say in that sense, because we don't want to give somebody something that's expired. We wouldn't want to eat it, so we don't want them to have to eat it either.
So I could bring you like 30 boxes or cans of like garbanzo beans or water chestnuts.
We use them, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Is that water chestnuts?
Yes.
Okay. I just had to ask because if there's something you want to get out there, okay, I appreciate you doing something. Don't drop this off because nobody wants it. That's what the kind of question is.
Yeah.
But hey, if you can use everything,
Pretty much, we just ask no expired food.
that's pretty simple.
Yeah.
You've probably got experiences with community leaders and stuff. What kind of impact do you think you've made, or stuff you can share from not just individual testimonies, but people that you've touched or talked to as far as community leaders? Anybody reached out to you and thanked you? And
I've actually gotten quite a few people on our list have reached out and said, we wouldn't have food this week if it wasn't for you. We appreciate you because I mean, it's my time too. And I'm also volunteering. Like I work full time. My husband works full time. We do this and we volunteer. Like nobody's getting paid. We are all volunteers. So, which I think a lot of people don't necessarily know that either because they just assume that I can drop everything and either go pick up and so we do ask for drop offs because I mean,
helps out.
Yeah, it does.
You can't pick up everything, sort it, store it, and then turn around and deliver it to.
Exactly.
If there's got to be some, give and take.
Exactly. So I do like people to know that, I'm a volunteer just as much as all my other volunteers. Like I don't think I'm, any better or worse than anybody else.
No, I appreciate that. That's obviously the next question I was going to ask you. Do you have any, good stories? Do you have any really heart-touching testimonies? Because I like to hear these things.
Oh my goodness. When we first started, we reached, of course, family reached out. It was this mom and her young kids. And we don't necessarily know the age of the kids because we don't ask for that. We just ask what your family size is so we can kind of gauge like how many we're helping and what we can give you. And we brought the food to the house. It was actually Luke and we delivered to this house. Okay. And I just remember this little girl coming to the door and opening, because this is even before we had boxes because we just didn't know. And we were giving it in a garbage bag because that's all we had. And this little girl opened the bag and her face was like, oh my gosh, Mommy, we have food. And it was like, this is why we're doing what we're doing. Yeah. Because these little kids, they don't understand why their mommy and daddy can't buy food at the grocery store. They don't understand why they have to wait until food stamps come in. They just don't understand that. So I still, that was 3 years ago, and I still remember that little girl saying, we have food.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sad part is, they don't understand. It's like grumbling stomachs and not having food, and they know their friends and other people do it.
Exactly.
And they don't understand how it doesn't mean, but they're so grateful just to see something like that.
That's also why we always give cereal because, I mean.
Sometimes they get lucky, they get the toy, you get an added bonus.
Exactly. So it's like, I remember being that little girl that was hopeful that we'd have food. So
Yeah.
it just is amazing to me when, I mean, it breaks my heart, but at the same time, it's like I'm thankful that God chose me to do it.
Yeah, no, because you got to take care of the kids. I mean, that's it. That's
Yeah.
So obviously, you get a lot of donations, but it's also you take cash donations. I bet.
Yes.
Okay,
So we do financial donations, which are all tax deductible. We do food donations. People have sent us Instacart orders.
all right.
That because people that can't deliver to me, they're like, I want to
Deliver to you.
help, but so we have had that. We've had people send stuff from Amazon, and then obviously
Wow.
volunteers. So there's plenty of ways to give.
Wow, Instacart. So somebody delivered
Yes.
you
Yes.
a bunch of stuff for Instacart. Here, donate it. So they
Yeah.
have to see, and that's cool because then they're helping the young gig worker that's just trying to make a little
Exactly.
extra cash. Then they're supporting you, and it's delivered to your door.
Yes.
See, I never even thought of it.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, you said you had a full-time job. Okay, and if I'm not mistaken, you're a legit nonprofit.
Yes.
Because
100%.
I've met some of the people that you have a board.
Yes.
How does that structure? I'm kind of curious. Is there like a hierarchy? Is there things you have to do in order to be qualified nonprofit?
Well, you obviously have to fill out all the paperwork. You have to send it in. You have to get approved because you do have to, send them your statement and like what your plan is. You have to send in your financials every month. Every year. I have to do my taxes every year as the nonprofit.
Okay.
So, that was all God too, because we started and it took us 3 months to become a nonprofit, which is unheard of.
Wow, I remember going through that, but what was the biggest holdup on getting it done?
Money. We needed money to be able to do it because to become the nonprofit, we used a legal person because I didn't want to mess up.
Yes.
And so it was like $2,000. And
Wow.
to come up with $2,000 when you're just trying to
Help people. Wow.
And we got enough donations and we did it. And then from there, it just skyrocketed. More people wanted to donate because they could get the tax write-off. So yeah, we are 100%. You get a donation receipt from us at the end of the year. So.
And that's true because I've donated,
Yes.
and I actually had gotten some
Yes.
receipts from this. So was it? You said you had to put together a board. Is there? You have to have people to do certain things in order to stay like legal.
You just have to have 3 board members.
Okay.
Minimum of 3 to become a nonprofit and be with the Secretary of State. You have to have 3. So we do have myself, my husband, and we have 1 other board member.
Okay. What do you have to do? Do you have to meet monthly or bi-monthly? Or?
So when we became a nonprofit, you have to write out your bylaws and all of that. That's part of becoming a nonprofit. And I'm pretty sure ours says we have to meet at least twice a year.
Okay.
And so we have to have meetings to go over like what's our game plan here? How can we get donations up? How can we make sure we don't have a wait list? Like those, or do we need a wait list? It's one of those things that you have to vote on. So
it's like a small company
It is.
on side of a full-time job.
Yes.
See, you got to have a heart of gold because not only is she working a full-time and her husband, you're actually running a company.
which is also like a full
And
time.
guess what? Yeah, and this company doesn't make money.
Yes.
It's time that gives to others. That's amazing. See, that's the thing about you. I mean, your heart of gold, and Luke. I've always known you, and you're always willing to give it. I mean, I don't think you have anywhere on your body a mean bone. It's like, how can I help you?
Yes.
I mean, I tell you.
Yeah.
Nice. So, what are your future dreams? If like you were looking at Blessed to be a Blessed Ministries in 5 years, 10 years. I mean, what are like the big dreams? Let's go crazy.
My dream is to have a warehouse one day.
Okay.
To have a warehouse and to just be that big to where maybe we don't only deliver, but people can stop by. It would be great to have like a food pantry store kind of thing, but we're not there because right now it's just out of my garage.
Okay. So you've got all the refrigeration, everything you need to store?
Yes. So we have a refrigerator donated, or not, we had cash donated to buy a refrigerator.
Okay.
We bought a freezer just for the pantry. That's all in my garage along with all the food that's dropped off. So we have availability to store any food that you drop off.
Is that why I see him trying to get somebody getting rid of their toys?
Yeah.
You can do it in the garage.
Exactly.
I was going to ask you that. Sorry, Luke.
Exactly. Yeah. The garage is blessed to be blessing.
That's awesome. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But I appreciate the fact that he's willing to. Instead of, so I sell my truck.
Right.
He's like, no, that's okay. Because you know what? He's looking at the bigger picture. So,
Exactly.
is there anything other than, like on the big scale, like refrigerators, freezers, stuff like, is there anything on the big thing like industrial that you could use that, just put it out there because you can do this
Right.
now? Because we're going to stamp your information on there, Facebook, YouTube, and all that fun stuff. If there's anything you need, like I said, what is it? Because people are going to be watching it. We're going to share this all over. She's going to share it. So yes, we're coming for your pocketbook, but it's for a good reason.
Luckily, right now we're okay. Like big items because the fridge and the freezer we just bought maybe a year ago. We've had people donate shelving for us. We have carts because when the drivers come, we like to bring them all out at once and save
So
time.
one by one.
So people have donated carts for us to be able to bring the boxes out. So right now, we're okay
Knock on wood.
with big stuff. It's mainly just food and cash. It's like our
The big
big thing that we need, because every time we go to the grocery store, we're spending minimum $700.
Yeah, and I've seen the price of cheese and bread right now.
Well,
It's
and
like
cheese, that's another one that we give
cheese,
out every
yeah.
time.
Oh my gosh, hot dogs, $10 for what? 8 hot dogs? Yeah, it's right now. It's
Yes.
just it's ridiculous how much things are.
That's funny that you said it, because cheese is one of our biggest expenses, but we always give it.
Yeah,
Because,
and I get yelled at all the time because Christy, my wife, gets that. We're out of cheese again because I love
Yeah.
cheese. I put it on everything, and then she's like, "We're out."
Yeah.
It's to go because it was like,
Exactly.
so
So those are, I mean, really,
Okay.
cash and food is the biggest, and obviously volunteers.
volunteers.
I would
Make
say
sure
they're
volunteer.
all equally as important.
Okay.
We can't run without all of that.
Yeah, that's well. That sounds like you got a well-oiled machine.
Now,
Yes.
now that we've been doing it, when we first started, we were a hot mess.
Hey, it's got to be.
It was a learning experience.
What does John Maxwell say? When you first start out something new, my friend, you're going to be awful at it.
Yes.
But that's okay.
Yes.
That's how you learn. And I've heard John Maxwell live say that, and I'm like, awful? What? And he goes,
It's
but
very
that's
true.
okay. That's how you learn to get better. So
Exactly.
awesome.
You're like, let's not do that this time.
So, well, I really appreciate you coming out, spending some time with me today. I'm always happy to do this. So, how to get a hold of her? Okay, you got a Facebook?
Facebook, Blessed to Be a Blessing Ministries is on Facebook. We also have a Facebook group called Blessed to Be a Blessing. And then we have Instagram, same thing, Blessed to Be a Blessing Ministries. And we have a website, blessedtobebleessingministries.org.
Okay, and on the where is the donation? Does it use PayPal or how do you do that?
On Facebook, you can donate directly on our Facebook page. There's a donate button. If you go to our website, that is through PayPal. There's
Okay.
also a donation there. We also have Venmo.
Okay.
And then obviously you can send a check, or some people stop by and give cash.
Okay.
So we accept it all.
And if you want to deliver food or Instacart food, I'm sure there's contact information
Yes.
how to get a hold of you for
Yes.
that. Perfect. So I want you to use those information. They're going to be at the bottom of the screen. Remember, Blessed to Be a Blessing Ministries. And what's the phone number? Is there one you should give out, or you don't want to? Social media.
Social media is best, just because
Okay.
it's my personal cell phone.
Yeah.
You know.
We can end up
I mean,
telemarketers.
once people volunteer or become on my list, they have my number. But
Okay.
yeah.
But you got to earn the right.
Yeah.
So you got to earn the right to be blessed. Huh?
Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe one day I'll have a Blessed to Be a Blessing cell phone.
Okay. That's something we should work
Yeah.
on. So, all right. Thank you for all stopping by and taking time to listen to me and Sylvia talk. Remember, Blessed to Be a Blessing Ministries. It's a food pantry, nonprofit, located in Oakland, California, and they're always looking for good people to help. Always looking for good people to donate time, money, food. So don't hesitate. Reach out to them on Facebook, Instagram, or hit them on their website. Again, this is Michael Young, Sylvia Green, Michael Young, E3, really keeping you in the know. Thank you for stopping by.